Hello, everybody. Thank you for being with us here tonight. We would love for you guys to take your seats. I know the live stream people have been on for 14 minutes, so thank you. We're having too much fun here in person. Please join us next year. For you guys here in person, thank you very much. Everyone take their seat and we will get the program going. You have a program guide on your chair, live stream. It was emailed to you. With that said, I want to introduce the global head of AI for Google, Brian Goldstein. Good luck.
Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon. It's so exciting to be here. We've got a packed house. This is amazing. Can you feel it a little bit? There we go. All right, super. So my name is Brian Goldstein. I look after AI for Google on the go-to-market side, and that's a global responsibility. I've had that for close to a year now. Super excited and proud to be a part of the Google community and representing our portfolio. Also excited to continue the long-standing partnership with the Venture Accelerator here at UCLA Anderson. We have been providing employee mentorship for some time now, and we're super proud about that. Also excited about this space and having you join us here. What do you think? There's so much energy in here. It's amazing. I love this. It's great. So as part of our dedication to continuing to foster LA's startup ecosystem, we are announcing tonight that we will provide all founders with access to Google Cloud and Firebase credits. If you're an AI-centric company, that's up to $350,000 worth of credits over a 2-year period, and non-AI companies up to $200,000 over that same period of time. I love the clapping. I could just stay up here all day. But you don't want to hear from me. Anyway, so together with the Venture Accelerator at UCLA Anderson, tonight we are also presenting the first ever Google Audience Award. So this is both the in-person and the live stream audience who has the opportunity to vote for the winner of this award. It'll be presented at the end of the presentations tonight. So when we're all through with that, we'll have a QR code that you can either grab from the brochure that's sitting on your chair, or we'll flash it up behind me at some point. You'll be able to vote, and we'll figure out who the winner is. Founders, keep building, stay positive, keep doing things that are going to change our lives for the better and fostering amazing things for the future. And talk about making an amazing and powerful impact in the startup community. I want to introduce to the stage the legendary venture capital family and distinguished UCLA alumni, Jesse, Adam, and Billy Draper.
Thank you so much. I'm like, do we hug?
You can hug me, yes.
I'm going to take it, too.
All right.
There.
You a hugger too?
Why not?
Well, we are so honored to be here tonight. And first, I want to thank Google.
Yeah, and yes, we did come up in birth order.
Yes, we did. That's what they asked of us. So it's oldest, you get it. Okay, so I'm Jesse Draper. I run Halogen Ventures, and I want to thank first Google and then also UCLA and Trish Holomandaris, and she from the business school, who put this whole event together. And I just have to say, we all speak at UCLA on occasion. We're asked to go check out the startups in different organizations within UCLA. And I have challenged, no joke, 50 people to put together one big pitch competition with just all of the different organizations within UCLA. And I challenged Trish, she was the 50th, and she called me about 2 months later and she's like, I did it. And so that is tonight. So hopefully this is the first of many. We're really, really excited about this. So one more applause for Trish.
Yeah, Trish. And team.
And team. Can't do anything alone. And so I'm Jesse. I run Halogen Ventures. We're an LA-based venture capital fund. We invest in female-founded consumer technologies. Right now, we're focused on future of family, so that's supporting the family at work, at home, the financial health of the family, and then the physical health of the family. I'm going to have Adam introduce himself. As an oldest would.
Thank you. Adam Draper, founder of Boost VC. We've been in operation for about 12 years. We invest in pre-seed deep tech, so anything from like jetpacks to crypto, so wide range. I just really love partnering with people who are going to change the world for better. And I think that's just generally common across our family. And I'll let Billy introduce his fund.
My name is Billy Draper. I run Path Ventures, which is also a pre-seed, more of a generalist fund. I'm also based in San Francisco. Adam and I had a great time. We got to fly up to here together, which was kind of a fun.
Yeah, so thank you for that experience.
Yeah, it's always
we had lunch.
We hang out.
Great.
We get to see each other a lot, but like it's very fun to get to hang out without just kind of shoot the breeze. But thank you for having us.
Breeze was the word.
Yeah, okay, that was pretty quick thinking. Anyways, we're really excited to see the pitches today, and we're excited to be here and support UCLA.
Yeah, we're really happy to be able to support UCLA. We all went to UCLA.
Oh yeah,
so
I forgot to say
cool.
that. Yep.
And we have a younger sister who went to USC, so we didn't.
Yay! She's great too.
She couldn't make it.
And it says I graduated in 09. Technically, I walked in 09. I graduated in
Let them know, champ. Don't worry about it.
2012. I just wanted to confess. I didn't want to live a lie out here.
He had like 1 credit left. What was it?
2 credits.
2 credits left.
Yeah.
Yes. But we're here now.
We're here.
Yes.
I did graduate.
So we are so excited about this first, hopefully, of many events. Good luck to all of the pitches. We can't wait to see you. We know you're building things that will change the world. So with that, let's kick it off.
UCLA!
Woo! Oh,
I serve as UCLA's chancellor. I'm also a major advocate of entrepreneurship, as well as an inventor myself. In fact, I've developed several inventions over the years, including a device to help prevent sudden infant death syndrome. At UCLA, we foster an environment where bold ideas are nurtured and encouraged to grow even bigger. We are driven by the belief that our creativity can make a difference and our breakthroughs can improve lives. Remember, if you can dream it, you can build it.
Supporting the Venture Accelerator. Thank you so much to the Draper family for being here. I'm Tony Bernardo. I'm the Dean of UCLA Anderson. And many of you may know one of our strategic priorities at Anderson is to be a catalyst for the Southern California entrepreneurial ecosystem. We believe, as part of a great public university, the top public university in the US, we have extraordinary assets across campus that we can work with, whether it's in the School of Engineering, in the School of Medicine, School of Theater, Film, and Television. There's so many extraordinary faculty and students across the campus, and we believe we should be playing a really important role in bringing all of these assets together to help create new venture ideas and help us have the biggest positive social impact that we can. So we're really thrilled to be here. I'm really thrilled that Trish and the team were able to put this together, and thanks for letting me know that they did it on such short notice. One of the great things about Trish is she just breaks through the bureaucracy of UCLA and gets things done, and so we're so pleased that you could do it. Thank you. You saw some of the statistics up on the screen earlier. Last month, PitchBook ranked UCLA among the top 10 universities worldwide in the initiation of new ventures. We're very, very proud, but there's so much more that we can do in a variety of areas. At Anderson, we've been supporting startups and teaching. We were one of the innovators in teaching entrepreneurship going back now 5 decades. And so we've built up a tremendous number of resources and learnings over the years to help young people create ambitious new ventures. So we're very, very proud of that. And we're very, very proud that all of you are here. I think we're all looking forward to, I believe we have 14 pitches today, 10 companies that are currently in our program, and then we're going to hear from 4 other alumni companies. So I know, like all of you, I'm very excited to learn more. And so I'm going to kick it off by introducing our first speaker, Kelly Wheeler, who's an Anderson Executive MBA from the class of 23.
Thank you.
And she's going to tell us about her company, BridgeDoc.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So hi, I'm Kelly Wheeler. I am founder of BridgeDoc, and we are a B2B SaaS platform for construction management on public works projects. These types of projects are the building blocks of our community, and I have been lucky to work on them for 23 years. So I'm solving my own problem. Just to give you a taste of what that problem is, this is a bridge project that I managed recently. And what that really means is I was in charge of 6,200 documents in 700 folders. That is 520 documents a month. Now you can multiply that by 4 because managers like myself are running multiple projects at a time. And we have to keep those documents audit ready for up to 5 to 7 years because we're using public dollars. Predominantly, agencies have not adopted existing solutions because they're not made for our target market. They are inefficient for our workflow. BridgeDoc is solving this problem for the 89,000 public agencies and the 138,000 consultants like me that work on these types of projects. We're doing this by, number 1, standardization. We have 9 modules, 100% of which are used on every single project, 5 of those 9 not on major competitor solutions. Number 2, compliance. We have easy export for audit, which both of those things lead to number 3, efficiency. We're reducing staff time spent on documentation. We are currently in beta testing. This has been the most fun to get it in the hands of our users. This has been so fun for me. And we're planning for paid user launch in Q1 of 2024. This will be at $75 per user per month, which is in line with competitor solutions, but most importantly, structured for easy procurement by our target market. This high growth, $9 billion global construction software market is a trust-based industry. It remains a trust-based industry. And because of that, we really believe that product-led growth is going to be the key to our success. What that means for us is in the first 2 years, we're gonna focus on product market fit in our beachhead market segments, one of which is consultants. This, we believe, is an underserved market. I know this because I am one. And this market touches a lot of adjacent markets. And what better way to grow than to have someone in those markets trust, love your product, and recommend it. Currently, we have bootstrapped to this point, and we have runway through mid-2024. We are looking for an investment partner who understands product-led growth. And our ask is for $400,000, which gets us to profitability towards the end of 2025. And the last thing I want to leave you with is why. So these are projects we literally cannot live without. It's clean water, it's roads that we drive on to get here, it's parks that our kids play in. And right now in the US, our infrastructure is rated a C. And I firmly believe that we can raise the grade of our infrastructure by improving the efficiency on the use of those dollars. Thank you so much for your time. This is really fun, and I especially thank the Accelerator. This has been one of the highlights of my MBA. Thank you.
At the Affiliate Aerospace, we have finally cracked the code on eco-friendly propulsion without compromising performance. I'm Miguelyala, CEO and co-founder I'm a rocket scientist educated at UCLA. We are veterans of NASA and leading aerospace companies. Our advisors are top leaders of DoD, NASA, private industry. So, satellites have engine systems, typically called the propulsion modules. They are fueled with hydrogen. And even though they have average performance, they are very, very expensive because hydrogen is very toxic and it's deadly to humans. On top of that, hydrogen pollutes the environment on Earth through production, ground operations, well before these satellites go to space. For decades, there has been an ongoing search to come up with an eco-friendly version of a fuel for satellites. And even though now current alternatives exist, they still have deficiencies. They're still costly. They have various performance weaknesses, and they're still toxic. I mean, I could go on for this for days. Until now, we have finally cracked the code on eco-friendly propulsion without compromising performance. You know what this means? Our propulsion modules for satellites, they can produce 40% more, they are 40% more fuel efficient than the ones fueled with hydrogen, and at half the cost. Now, on top of that, our propulsion systems are also significantly more efficient than those existing green, eco-friendly alternatives. We can save the satellite operators up to 70% in operations cost and up to 90% in operations time. These are massive savings. This is all made possible with our proprietary eco-friendly fuel, Hydrox. Originally developed at Sandia National Labs under Department of Energy funding, we developed much better formulas, much more powerful formulas that we are now patenting. We have over 2.5 million in ongoing government contracts, over 20 million in pending 70-30 government commercial contracts, and all totaling over 1.5 billion maximum revenue pipeline over the next 10 years. This is based on actual RFQs, LOIs, MOUs, and customer testimonials from engagements with over 80 customers worldwide. Our initial target is the in-space propulsion market, estimated to exceed 15 billion by 2030. Thereafter, we'll go after the entire space propulsion market, estimated to pass 50 billion by 2030. We are selling complete propulsion modules, the whole system with the fuel. The fuel is just a small fraction of the cost, for 1 million per unit on average, to generate a gross profit of 75% initially. We are projecting 4 million in revenue in 2024, cash flow positive in 2026, and exceeding 100 million in revenue by 2027. We have already invested 4 million of our own money and external sources into this effort. We're raising 10 million right now, with 50% already softly committed. This is for a 2-year runway to finally qualify our technology in space and also scale up manufacturing and sales. I covered a lot in a short time. I understand this is rocket science. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Andy, and I'm the co-founder of SparkJen. I'm so excited being here to showcase our technology to transform cell therapy. Could you imagine such a small chip could save millions of patients by changing the fate of the cells? Let's take a look. In the last decade, extensive studies have been performed on cell therapy, and it shows promising results in treating cancers, heart diseases, Parkinson's, etc. However, its application is limited by the manufacturing process. A typical cell therapy includes collecting cells from the patient, gene editing in the lab to turn them into therapeutic cells, and then put therapeutic cells back to the patient for treatment. The rate-limiting step here is gene editing. only a few % of the cells could be engineered successfully, which means you have to repeat this process several times to achieve enough therapeutic cells for treatment. This will not only increase the cost, but also leaves a huge unmet patient demand. To solve this problem, our team developed an innovative technology, Cerebro, which is a microfluidic device with the power to improve gene editing. In these two images, the green ones represent the cells succeed on gene editing. And you can see, Cerebro could increase the success rate dramatically by 10 times. But why Cerebro is so powerful? What's the secret behind it? We name it cell massage. Cerebro would massage the cells by squeezing them through the microchannel. And just like human beings, cells will feel more relaxed after massage, and they will open their genes and become easier to be engineered. This massaging mechanism is unique in the market, and it provides a faster processing speed, an enhanced safety, a lower cost, and most importantly, a 10x increase in gene editing efficiency. This increase will give us more therapeutic cells from the same number of patient cells, therefore decreasing the financial and time costs significantly, and make cell therapy more affordable. And this is our mission, to pave a path for cell therapy to reach and treat more patients. There is a meaningful market opportunity for us, including a billions of dollars total addressable market with a 22% annual growth rate. Our work is well recognized in academia, including publication in Nature Journal, and our prototype has been validated through collaboration with multiple universities. Also, we are granted with a $2.3 million NIH funding to support our further research. To make our company a success, we built a comprehensive and experienced team, including talented scientists from UCLA Bioengineering and industry experts from Anderson School. Currently, we are seeking $1.5 million to reach some key milestones with a main focus on commercialization of Cerebro. And we aim to start selling Cerebro to research institutes in early 2025 before going through FDA regulatory, and expand our business to cell manufacturers in industry afterwards. At last, I want to thank Venture Accelerator for their tremendous support, and I would like to invite you to join our mission to transform cell therapy. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Veronica Pellegrino, and I have been a registered nurse at UCLA for almost 3 years now. Very shortly into the beginning of my career, I noticed that bedside nurses were using some insane workarounds to make our day more efficient and to decrease injury at the bedside. And one of the tasks that we completed the most often was the blister pill pack opening and dispensing process at the bedside. Let me show you what I mean. I'm sure all of you have tried to open a Tylenol before and have felt horribly frustrated. And us nurses are opening these pill packs anywhere from 50 to 250 times in a single shift. It's taking an absorbent amount of time, and it's also the #1 cause of bedside injury at the bedside, repetitive motion hazard. This picking and peeling motion, using scissors and pens and our own fingernails to open pills, is causing injury and taking up too much time at the bedside. And this is where we have Popsy. Popsy is an innovative pill opening and dispensing tool built for nurses by nurses to go to the bedside and even beyond. It is portable, lanyard attachable, sanitizable, and easy to use. As demonstrated in the picture, the user simply inserts their finger into the outer piece, and a clicking mechanism releases the inner portion of Popsy, which has a sharp edge that was actually designed after one day at work when I had a really sharp acrylic nail. And it pierces the pill packet, opens the pill packet, and dispenses the pill into the user's hand or the cup. Safe, easy, efficient. In July of 2022, I conducted a survey with more than 500 UCLA nurses responding overwhelmingly in favor of Popsy, with 93% of nurses saying they would be very interested in utilizing a product like this. And not only is it going to reduce injury at the bedside, it's also going to put time back into the user's hand. In preliminary studies, we have shown that Popsy is up to 85 to 86% more effective than the methods we currently use, which includes fingers, nails, and scissors. Initially, we're going to target the United States nursing population, but with more than 219 million Americans every year opening an over-the-counter blister pill pack to take medication, Popsy has the ability to go way beyond the bedside. One of the more fun aspects of Popsy is the ability to make it customizable. The exterior of it has a bare face, allowing for an excellent opportunity for individualization, customization, fun colors, and as a nurse myself, I know we love our fun gadgets. And it's also an excellent opportunity for healthcare systems such as UCLA or companies such as Google to maybe put their logo on the face of Popsy. It's an awesome branding opportunity. Our brand is going to hinge on brand loyalty, digital marketing, and word of mouth. Brands like Clove and Figs, which I'm sure most of you know in the nursing community, are very successful brands. We plan to utilize and kind of look at their market and expand from there. We are in beta testing with the latest prototype outside for demos, should you be so inclined to check it out. And we are also seeking capital raise of about $100,000 for sales and marketing and inventory. And I believe in Popsy, and I hope you guys do too. Thank you so much.
Well, hello. My name is Arya Nederland. I'm co-founder and CEO of Active Membrane. I'm a water technologist, and for the past couple of decades, myself and those guys have been spending our time solving some of the world's most challenging water treatment problems. I'm passionate about what I do. I love it. It's impactful. But I'm more passionate about being a dad to these guys. And as a father, can you hear me? Okay, that's okay.
Sorry, a little distracted.
Well,
no worries. I don't have to do anything.
Anyway,
You'll turn it.
What I was saying is that I'm a water technologist with over a couple of decades of experiencing, just solving some of the world's most challenging water treatment problems. I am also a father, which I'm more passionate about what I do. And as a father, there's one lingering thought in my head at all times. What type of the world we are leaving for that generation? I can't talk about conflicts and all of that. I'm not an expert, but I can tell you that the water situation is pretty bad. We're running out of fresh water, and we're running out of it fast. And it's a supply and demand because we have very little fresh water, and we are overusing and overabusing our resources. And within our lifetime, and most definitely within the lifetime of our children, significant parts of the world are going to run out of fresh water. Imagine a day without fresh water. We cannot let that happen because it's an imminent, indiscriminate existential crisis. So what do we have to do? As a human race, we have to go and figure out other resources for producing fresh water. And we have to look at the 97% of our water resources, which are the seas and the lakes and all the saline resources that we have. Today, for that, we have a process that is called desalination, process of removing salt from water. Desalination doesn't get good press. Why? Rightly so, because it is, it's very expensive, it's environmental and sustainable, produces a concentrate waste and all of that. It is all of that because at the heart of it, we have advanced filters that are called membranes. And these membranes only occupy 5 to 10% of a desalination plant. The rest of the bells and whistles around them is to protect them from clogging too early and losing their efficiency. Because if they do, they lose their productivity and they increase the cost of desalination. They do that because they're essentially dumb filters. They have no controls over what they separate, and if you do not control the water that goes into them, they clog quite quickly. And that happens to them, basically, and they die eventually. This makes desalination a last resort technology today. Imagine a technology that our human race relies on for securing our water security in the future, a last resort technology, not on our watch. We are developing the next generation of these membranes. These are going to be smart, they're going to be electrically conducting, and they will have the power to control that clogging process and prevent it without having to resort on all the bells and whistles that current desalination plants need. The impact of this technology is significant. It's going to change the landscape. It's going to do what the smartphones did to water industry. They're going to democratize this industry, significantly alleviating the barriers of adopting this technology at a larger scale. we're going to blow apart this market. It's going to be a completely different market. It's going to be from your household all the way to the commercial scale. We're going to democratize this technology so you can have it as a technology of choice, not a technology of last resort. That's what human beings deserve. But more importantly, we're going to enable an existential human right, which is more fresh water for our children at a lower cost. The government gets it. They've got over $750,000 in field piloting grant so far from all these nice government agencies. We are a magnified company. We appreciate that support. We have recently won very high-level global prizes for this technology at events in Germany and Saudi Arabia. We've recently been nominated for the UN's Earthshot Prize. And we want to redefine desalination. That's what we do. And we've been raising, over the last year and a half, I've been raising about a $2 million seed round. $1.5 million is secured. We're looking for another $500,000. This is going to be spent on a scale-up and manufacturing our technology, give us a runway for 18 months, and it will get us to our first commercial sale, towards which we have an existing client. Thank you very much, UCLA guys, for this opportunity, and thank you for your attention.
Good afternoon. Can I ask for a quick show of hands? How many in the audience have had a family member diagnosed with dementia? That's remarkable. What if I told you that 4 out of 10 of those cases could have been prevented? I want to introduce you to a patient of mine. Her name is Janet. She, like you, is concerned about her brain health. She's why Sage Cerebro is going to change the game for brain health. My name is Jason Hinman. I'm a physician scientist, faculty member at UCLA, and the founder of Sage Cerebro. Right now, the way we diagnose, prevent, and treat brain health is 50 years behind heart disease. In the 1960s, cholesterol testing was introduced and radically changed the approach for heart disease, saving nearly 40 million lives. Now a breakthrough from my academic lab at UCLA, based on 8+ years of research into brain health, is poised to advance a novel blood test to close this gap and have the kind of impact cholesterol testing had on heart disease in managing the growing crisis of dementia. With the recognition that nearly 40% of dementia is modifiable if we catch it early enough, not only can we keep Janet out of the 6.5 million in the US with dementia, but by providing direct, at-home consumer testing, we can eliminate a nearly 18-month delay in care and give Janet a chance to reverse the health factors that have put her at risk in the first place. So Janet's concerned about her brain health. She orders our first diagnostics product, the Sage Signal at-home test. She sends her sample in. Her results come back in just a few days as red. She gets a virtual consultation with our team for personalized management of her risk factors from the comfort of home. With this advance, we can take the tools to measure your brain health and put them in your fingertips rather than behind the buzz of an MRI scan. Our competitors target single molecules that irreversibly accumulate in the brain. Our Sage Signal test measures a combinatorial inflammatory profile that's modifiable based on lifestyle and risk factor control, giving customers a plan of attack to protect their brain, all while realizing 70% cost savings. This is an exciting time in brain health. Our new Sage Signal test provides a new way to look at brain health that shifts the paradigm from late-stage diagnosis in the doctor's office to early detection and prevention at home. And the dementia diagnostics market is substantial, valued at $12 billion and projected to triple. Our technology is backed by a strong partnership with the UC, including IP protection, an exclusive license agreement with UCLA, and our core IP extends beyond the field of dementia to include stroke, traumatic brain injury, and other areas. We have a strong and diverse team with talents, including myself as founder, as well as other key members with scientific and business acumen, including in the diagnostics field. We are currently raising $3.5 million in a seed round to hit the first milestones needed for a direct-to-consumer product launch, including expansion of our team, license agreements with key strategic partners, and development and launch of a consumer-facing app platform. Thank you, and join us in making next-generation diagnostics for brain health a reality.
Hello, hello. My name is Karen, and I'm an executive MBA student with UCLA Anderson. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about better snacking. But before I do that, I want to show you one of my favorite pictures. Now, this is a picture I took on my way up to Runyon Canyon. Once I got to the top, I realized what a hike it was. And to get up here, I ate 2 bags of popcorn, 2 bags of chips, and an energy drink. And you would have thought I felt energetic. Wrong. Instead, I felt sluggish. And at that moment, I realized why. I had eaten too much sodium, sugar, and probably too much saturated fat, which is why I created Unisoy plant-based jerky. Now this snack is flavorful, yet it is lower in sodium, no cholesterol, no saturated fat, and it's got 21 grams of protein. That's like eating 4 boiled eggs, but I promise you, this is much more exciting. We've got over 500 5-star reviews on Amazon, and today we are in over 500 stores and counting. From natural chains like Lazy Acres to conventional grocery chains like Stop & Shop. Even beef jerky stores love us. And I would say we're doing pretty darn well at spreading sustainable snacking, which is why we partner with One Tree Planted, where every purchase plants a tree. It's been quite a journey to get here. We have repeat buyer rate of over 80%. In the last 3 years, a combined annual revenue of over $2.4 million. And for 2023, we are tracking to break $850,000 and a solid profit margin of 50%. We are a snack that is ready to grow. And grow we are going to do because we have deep partnership with 2 of the biggest nationwide distributors. We plan to go from 500 stores to 4,000 stores in 5 years, and that will take our revenue to over $27 million. And you might think this is a lot, but it really isn't, because if each store just sells 5 bags of this snack a day, that's how we're going to get there. What I'm asking for today is $1 million in investment, and through that, we are going to expand our sales force. With our deep partnership in nationwide distribution, we want to make sure that we have people out there, boots on the ground running, and also making sure our products are out in the store. We're going to spend on store marketing, making sure we've got the right promotions so our products are flying off the shelves. And of course, for everyone who loves our product, when they are ready to buy and buy again, we want to make sure they go through our website, because through subscribing and buying through our website, we are going to increase our profit margin from 50% to over 70%. Now, this is a team that's going to make it happen. Myself, Karen, my co-founders, Leo and Vince. And together, we've got over 30 years of food industry experience. We've got established sales channel, and we have the agility to expand. So what are you waiting for? Join me in this better snacking for your body and also for the planet. Thank you so much, UCLA Venture Accelerator, and thank you for listening.
Surely many of us in this very room know friends or family members who have dealt with some type of solid cancers. Cancers such as brain or breast cancer. Now the problem is, although these tumors only exist in a couple of spots in our body, current treatments are vastly systemic, meaning that they bombard the patient with powerful toxins, hoping that the tumor will get their shares as well. But last I checked, you don't burn down the house to roast the pig, right? So if I come here and tell you that we've come up with a solution that can focus the power of those drugs only to the tumor environment, and do you one better by training your own immune cells, wouldn't you pick that over the current treatments? I'm Negin, CEO of Symphony Biosciences, a bioengineer by training, and as someone who have lost a family member to solid cancer, I've spent the past 6 years of my life, initially as my PhD project and afterwards at my company Symphony, trying to understand the challenges we face in treating solid cancers. We are a team of bioengineers and immunologists backed by clinicians and business experts, all from UCLA, here to offer a smarter and longer-term treatment for solid cancer. Now, it's interesting, your body already knows how to treat cancer and how to fight back. The issue are 2 major things. One is that simply the lack of enough of those fighter immune cells around the tumor. And second is that even if there are any immune cells fighting, the tumor is going to tell them no, is going to stop them from that fight. Our solution, on the other hand, is a tiny sponge which will be injected beside a solid tumor. It acts as a local powerhouse that can recruit the immune cells, trains them on a spot, increase their number, and send them back to fight the cancer, while at the same time getting rid of the barriers that are created by the tumor microenvironment. When we tested this approach in mice, the preclinical results were stunning. As a result of an only one-time application of this treatment, 60% of that mice get an extra months of extension in their survival. That translates into 3 additional years for humans. And 40% of them became completely tumor-free. But wait, there is more. Because we are training the immune cells, the cells can inherit this memory and remember it to fight back the tumor. So even when our treatment is completely gone, the immune cells can completely clear the tumor and prevent it from coming back or even spreading anywhere else in the body. We are starting our efforts by tackling triple-negative breast cancer, a population of breast cancer that has a really low survival rate and a high incidence rate. And due to the lack of viable option, it has a much shorter path to market in terms of regulatory affairs with the FDA. That being said, the idea behind this is pretty much applicable to many types of solid cancer. So it doesn't stop us from thinking that it could be open the door to at least a $4 billion market opportunity here. The science behind this technology is backed by a publication in Nature, in one of the highest esteemed journals in the field, Nature Biomedical Engineering, and a $2.4 million non-dilutive funding from National Cancer Institute, and the technology is obviously protected by a patent both in the US and internationally. Since we launched Symphony late in 2021, we've come a long way, gained a lot of attraction. Currently, we are closing our seed round, asking for an additional $2 million to allow us to get this to patients and start the clinical trials in 2025 or sooner with the right amount of capital. And the majority of this fund we are asking for is going to be used for testing this in larger animals and fill the few gaps we have prior to our FDA meeting. That being said, I want to thank you all for listening to me here. And if you're interested in joining us in this movement of getting away from those systemic treatments and coming up with a longer-term treatment for solid cancer, let's talk.
Thank you. I'm Wesley Jones. I'm a medical device engineer and a UCLA Anderson alum, now CEO of Vanova. We're a medical device company based in San Diego, developing the less invasive pathway to the brain surface as the first alternative to drilling through the skull. By reducing the costs and risks of neurosurgery, we aim to improve access to care for millions of epilepsy patients and open up a new $7 billion neurotech market. Because epilepsy patients with these uncontrolled seizures have very little hope of a normal life. Medications have failed them. 40% of the 50 million patients worldwide continue to live with these uncontrolled seizures. And their only treatment path? Massive brain surgery, a diagnostic surgery just to get the data to tell you if you're eligible for treatment. So it's no surprise that the vast majority of those in need never receive this initial diagnostic and continue to be imprisoned by their epilepsy until their premature death. Now they are my why and the why of Vanova, which translates to new hope. Our solution is the Cerebro Atlas system. It's a breakthrough catheter platform that leverages your body's natural venous pathway through a vein in your arm to get access to the surface of the brain without drilling through the skull. Now, through this new pathway, we deploy the Atlas device, which is our catheter-delivered brain interface that's designed specifically for recording neural activity. We've received exclusive IP for this technology, which is the least invasive cortical grid ever designed. Now, we've validated this novel technique through cadaveric experiments and in vivo here at UCLA. And so now with confidence in the procedure's feasibility, we're looking for partners to join our mission and continue on through our preclinical testing. because the time to build is right now. We have a massive opportunity to transform the epilepsy market, beginning first with focal epilepsy. Within 7 years of commercialization, we can achieve $350 million in annual revenue. Now, we've completed much of the technical and business feasibility since this venture began in 2020. And thank you to UCLA Biodesign, Anderson Accelerator, and most recently, the NIH program. And so now with this confidence in our procedures feasibility, we're raising a $3 million seed round to continue through our preclinical testing, complete our design freeze, and achieve FDA breakthrough designation. For comparison, Synchron was just valued at a $385 million valuation, with just the same milestone we seek to achieve by 2026. Now, this novel technology was invented by my co-founder, Dr. Jose Morales. He's a neurointerventionalist, and I'm the engineer with a decade of experience developing 11 similar devices to market for Medtronic and Acutus Medical. Together with our first-class team, we aim to give new hope to millions of patients with epilepsy. So if you like to think big to give millions of patients new hope, then Vanova might be the right investment for you.
Hi, I'm Andreas Newman, Air Force veteran, proud UCLA Anderson executive MBA alum, each of which contributed quite a bit for me being in this room in front of all of you. So what problem are we attacking? Well, crops are still being attacked by pests, specifically insect pests, at epidemic levels, and that's besides the heavy reliance on pesticides. Why don't they work? Well, the more you use them, the less effective they are. They kill good guys in the field, makes you use more pesticides, and the pests actually learn to avoid them. They also are now becoming more aware of what the negative effects are, so consumers and regulators are cracking down. Another option, biological pest control. Simply said, good bugs attacking bad bugs in the field at a commercial scale. They kill where the chemicals can't reach, and they also don't kill the good guys, and consumers kind of like that. So what's the issue with this? Well, it takes 15 to 20 people to apply some of these. You walk like this for, 8 hours or so. You do a half hour for 1 acre, and you don't have a uniform application rate, and it's not always possible to get the labor, and it's a critical time to do it right after it rains. You can't get into the fields when they're flooded. So one of the solutions out there is ours. It is biological control via drone. You can do an acre in 45 seconds instead. We thought that would be one of the main advantages. Turns out we have higher quality because our equipment is more calibrated than in a human, and we can do it over flooded fields and in tree crops where humans can't reach. So we offer an end-to-end solution in an increasingly competitive arena. We can fit in with large sales channels and just be a service provider, or for customers, we can actually help devise a plan to use this in conjunction with the rest of your pest management. Hardware is designed for us, by us, and my Air Force experience of scaling global Hawk drone operations throughout the world allows me to scale and have high quality no matter where we have a pilot flying one of these systems for us. The system is in a market that is fast and growing. It is $19 billion, growing at 14%. We've entered the California strawberry market. It's a beachhead market of around $2 million because they've been using these products for 30 years. But we've been growing in the wine industry, which excitingly is about an $80 million a year market just here in California alone. And there are other markets here in California, the West Coast, throughout the states, and it's global. Early accomplishments, obviously really proud about the revenue we've had with really no sales and marketing support behind us. Our repeat customer rate, extremely happy about, and we have some of the biggest customers in agriculture amongst our biggest advocates. So awards and recognitions are coming. We're incredibly excited that we're going to be competing nationally at the American Farm Bureau coming up in Salt Lake City. We're a final 10 in that. And the Department of Pesticide Regulation is actually considering us for an innovation award. So the revenue model is a blend of products and services, $70 per acre. You fly every acre twice. A 250-acre farm is about half of what we can do in a single day. It's a pretty nice payday. So we have lit the fire. We're here trying to find some people that'll help us pour some gasoline on it. We need to push out the sales and marketing, increase our operational capacity. This is the team that'll make you happy that you bet on Anemba. And if there are any questions or you just want to have a drink in the back, I'm looking forward to seeing you all. Thank you very much.
So thank you. What a great set of presentations. First, I'd like to have another round for our founders. So I'm Ola Sorenson. I'm the faculty director of the Price Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation and the Joseph Jacobs Chair in Entrepreneurial Studies. Kind of trivial fact, when I was considering whether or not to come back to UCLA, I happened to be here on the same day as the showcase. That was back in 2019. It was at this location. It's fantastic to be back at this location. I'd like to thank Google for hosting us again. Please. So I think, more than any time in the past, the showcase this year really shows what a fantastic institution UCLA is because of the diversity of what we have going on and the fact that there are good ideas all over the campus. I had the honor of sitting on the selection committee. We saw 10 ideas here, but believe me, there were dozens more that were really excellent. We could have easily chosen another set that would have been almost as compelling. I would like to, you saw a number of numbers in the video at the beginning. I'd like to add just a couple of numbers to that. So one, the Price Center, our job is really at Anderson to try to support entrepreneurs. The Price Center's been going for something like 40 years now, but just over the last 10 years, the Price Center has helped roughly 400 startups get going. Those startups have raised something on the order of $1.8 billion in funding, and perhaps even more importantly, have created something like 4,000 jobs in the LA area. The Accelerator, which is also part of the Price Center, has its own kind of mission in terms of supporting founders, has supported another 250 companies that have raised something on the order of $300 million, and that's all in 6 years. I also think, one of the most important and interesting stats that's out there is that the success rate of companies going through the accelerator and actually getting funding coming out is 85%. I think that's a true credit to Trish and her team in the accelerator. So the next stage in our event this evening is to hear from some of the alumni of previous showcase events and find out how their companies have been progressing over the time. So first up, I'd like to hand the mic over to Belinda Lao, who is a co-founder of Elims. So please.
Thank you very much, Olaf. Hi, everyone. This is Elims, a dentist-crafted sustainable oral care brand. My name is Belinda Lao. I am the CEO and co-founder alongside my husband.
I'm Dr. Casey Lao, Chief Dental Officer and proud Bruin alumni. I got my display socks on.
They say to be successful, you need to have both brains and beauty. So obviously, I'm the brains and he's the beauty. And together we have 3 awesome kids. They're also our product tasters because they have the pickiest palate I have ever seen. And our 4th baby is Elims. Elims is really at the cross-section of being clinically valid. That means it actually works to clean your teeth, and sustainability.
Our products are science-backed and clinically proven to work. I use those products every day, and I recommend my patients use it almost every day.
And we're here to raise the bar on sustainability in oral care. Everyone in this room has thrown away a toothbrush or a tube of toothpaste because that stuff is not recyclable. So, for example, our tubes of toothpaste are actually made out of sugarcane resin and not virgin plastic, right? Raising the bar. And we partner with some of the best climate change organizations on the planet to make sure that we're doing all of this sustainably. So clearly, this combination of clinically backed and also sustainable is working because of our growth. And we did this all bootstrapped, by the way. So we launched in 2021, and I'm very proud to say that this year we launched in all doors nationwide, in TJ Maxx and Marshalls. We're also in several beauty boutiques. That's right, oral care in beauty boutiques. And we also are in several dental offices across the US. We've also actually signed up just with UNFI, which is the largest distributor for natural products all over the US. So what's next? So we have a kids line coming out. Our kids have been begging us for this toothpaste. It's so yummy. They've been using it out of jars off our prototype line for the last couple of years, so they're really excited to see it come out. And then we have a sustainable floss coming out that removes 40% more plaque than any other floss on the market, and it's made out of recycled water bottles. So who has figured out what ELMS means? Yes, it is smile backwards, because it is all about the smile that you see in the mirror. So if you want to put a smile on our dial, you can support us. We are asking for any connections to retail like Target, Sephora, Walmart, Costco, or any connections to debt financing, because we got to finance these big orders. Finally, you can also support us. Well, the easiest way to support us is to find our products on Amazon or on our website, and to follow us on social media. Thank you so much, and go Bruins!
Go Bruins!
Hi everyone, my name is Seung-Jun, co-founder and CEO of Dalton Bioanalytics. We are helping people to live longer and healthier by generating comprehensive biochemical profiles. There are thousands of biochemicals in our body, but it has been nearly impossible to generate this comprehensive biochemical profile due to the chemical diversity exists even in a single sample. So traditionally, people needed to divide the samples and send them to multiple specialized laboratories. This costs thousands of dollars and also increases the risk of data integration due to the batch effects and human errors. What Dalton is doing is one-stop shop. We measure proteins, metabolites, lipids, and other small molecules in a single run, in single sample, dramatically reducing this bottleneck. So let's see our data. This spectrogram shows our analysis of human plasma. Each of these color specks represent a unique molecular feature in blood. For example, zooming in 1000x to this specific mass and retention time, we find the signal for glucose. So far, we have raised about $1.2 million. We expect to generate $1 million sales this year, growing 100% every year. And also, more importantly, using our platform, we are finding new and better potential biomarkers for common and rare diseases. And this was possible because of the support that I got from LA and Negin, Magnify, Anderson Venture Accelerator, Biodesign. Yeah, I went through all. Yeah. Yeah. So this is my team. Austin invented this technology while he was doing his PhD at UCLA. When I met him, the technology was too good to be true, but our customers are verifying it right now. Yeah. So please let me know if you are interested in working with us. We are planning to open our A round next year. Thank you.
Hi. Did you know that after water, concrete is the most consumed material on Earth? And every year we produce 4 tons of concrete per person on the planet. That's the scale that we are talking about. But there is a hidden cost behind this. Concrete is also a climate killer. And concrete contributes to 8% of the global CO2 emissions. So that's 4 times more than the entire aviation industry. So what can we do about this? I'm Matthew Bauchi, an associate professor at UCLA. I've been working for 10 years on concrete sustainability, and I realized after this research that concrete production is inefficient. Concrete uses much more cement than required, and that's a problem because cement not only contributes to 50% of concrete's cost, but for more than 90% of its carbon footprint. And what can we do about this? That's why I co-founded Concrete AI. Concrete AI is a software as a service. It uses generative AI to re-envision concrete formulations. And what we do is that we redesign from the ground up new concrete formulations that will not only achieve lower cost, but also lower CO2 emissions. So what's the result of this? We have achieved a consistent 5% drop in material costs and a whopping 30% drop in CO2 emissions. So not only concrete producers become greener, but they also double their profit margin. So now imagine a world where every producer was using Concrete AI. We would prevent 500 million tons of CO2 from entering the atmosphere. That's 2 times the emission of an entire country like France. So over the past years, we have seen some significant tractions. We've been working with 5 industry-leading producers. We have built the world's largest concrete data set. We have optimized already over 2 million cubic yards of concrete. We have secured a patent covering the groundbreaking AI technology behind our product. And we were recognized with the Innovation Award from the National Ready Mix Concrete Association. So if you also believe, like we do, that we envision a future where urbanization, sustainability, and also profitability can go hand in hand, then please come chat with us at the demo table. We are currently in a funding phase, and we welcome all discussions. Thank you.
Welcome to CreatorUp. My name's Nick Almond. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of CreatorUp and an Anderson UCLA alum. At CreatorUp, we have a vision to create any type of digital content for any organization, anywhere in the world, quickly, easily, and at scale. The opportunity is massive. Digital content creation is $171 billion today, and that has been accelerated by the growth in generative AI. But content creation can be difficult. An in-house team or a small production shop can quickly get overwhelmed. They may be great at live action, but haven't done animation. They don't know how to do a live stream, and they're still wrapping their arms around generative AI. At CreatorUp, we're transforming the way content can be both created and purchased. It starts with the CreatorUp store. This is an e-commerce marketplace, just like you're shopping on Amazon. You can search, browse by industry, by format, animation, live action, live streams, immersive 360 for the headset. Look at the price, read the product page, look at a sample, drop it to your shopping cart, and check out. Once the project gets started, there's a project management system, a financial tracking system, and creative review, all in one very easy to use content creation platform we call CreateTrack. We have 8,000 creative professionals all over the world. These are writers, producers, directors, editors, graphic designers that are available 24/7 to work on this, giving us global production capabilities across languages, time zones, and cultures. Those red dots, by the way, are where we've created projects. The blue dots represent where we have offices in Singapore, Los Angeles, Dubai, Mumbai, and Athens. That's how we started, and then that little thing called ChatGPT came along in October, November last year. We decided to get ahead of all of this and create our own generative AI platform, introducing Daisy. Daisy combines the power of multiple generative AI engines in text, images, video, translation, and as of Halloween, in a few days from now, the ability to create presentations and video slideshows, all from a few prompts. So we combined those with those 8,000 creative professionals all over the world, combining AI and human. So you've got the speed, the efficiency, the scale of generative AI, but you've still got creative professionals copy editing, tweaking the images, bringing in legacy content, and making sure your content is professional and on brand. So this is where it positions us. It positions us against all of the agencies out there that produce content that specialize maybe in just one format. We can do everything. And then likewise on the AI side, you're seeing these pure plays emerge out of Silicon Valley and other innovative parts of the world, but they typically just focus on text or just focus on images. We put all of that together in one platform with a great UX, nice, easy-to-use interface, and of course supported by real humans, real creative professionals that are on tap to help you, and so you're not alone facing that blinking prompt. We're trusted by over 250 global brands, including our friends here at Google and YouTube, UCLA, and that other school down the road. We've raised our seed, we've raised our A, we're looking for our Series B in 2024. We'd love to talk more about it at the reception that follows. Thank you all very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Wow. Let's give another round of applause to everyone that's been up on stage tonight. What an amazing round of presentations. And now for the really fun part. Using the QR code on the slide behind me or in the pamphlet, this is your opportunity to vote for your favorite pitch from the evening. And then we will award the Google Audience Award after the panel on artificial intelligence alongside the Draper's investments as well. And this has just been so exciting. I'm so thrilled to be here. So go ahead and hit the QR code and place your votes. And with that, I want to invite Ali up to pull the panel together.
Good job. I'm so excited about it. Congratulations, you guys. Well done, on time.
I think, sit on down.
Sit? You want this?
I think they want Thank you. Wait, I can click it and see what happens. Oh no, you're lovely for that.
Let's find out.
You guys need one more mic up there, just in case?
You want me to have two?
I think they want me to call you guys up. So I'm going to call you guys up.
You want me to go away and come back?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to hang out with me for a second?
Kind of want to be up here with you.
All right, we can hang out for a second.
Let's do it.
Hello, hello. You can say hi.
Hey.
All right, now we're talking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your halftime show. I am not Beyonce, I'm not Rihanna, but I am Ali Garfinkel, and I am the senior tech reporter at Yahoo Finance. Thank you, whoever did that. I appreciate you. I am incredibly excited to be moderating this panel. Not only is it the only panel that I've ever moderated that I could walk to from my apartment, but it is also, I think, the only panel I've ever done that's truly cross-disciplinary. It's about AI, in case anyone hadn't guessed. Now, who here has had a conversation about AI, by a show of hands, with someone in the last month? Is that everyone? I think that's everyone. What about in the last week? Last 24 hours? I think that was also almost everyone. I appreciate you raising your hand, Brian. You know, it's funny, I have had so many conversations about AI with so many people, but one of my frustrations has been that I feel like it's a little bit siloed. I feel like the journalists talk to each other about how we think it's going to affect us, the scientists are talking to each other, and though the conversation is broad, it's not necessarily interdisciplinary. So with that, I'm going to bring up our panelists. Please join us up here. I'll go over here. Oh, thank you. Should I click it and see what happens?
Just click. Oh, people are clicking for you.
Oh, well, thank you. May I ask, Buck, why you chose that seat specifically?
It wasn't on the end. That one was taken.
Yeah, see, there you go. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. So I'm going to run down the line and have you introduce yourself and just tell us a quick something about what you do, what you think about day in, day out. Maureen, you're looking at me very serenely, so I'd like to start with you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Maureen. I'm a partner at Cedars-Sinai Health Ventures. We're a strategic venture arm to Cedars-Sinai focused on Series A. First of all, I love the pitches. I love hearing entrepreneurs talk about their businesses. So thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you to the Accelerator. Thank you to Google. It's a pleasure to be here. And it was very cool to see some of the innovations in the health tech space that are coming out of UCLA. In terms of what I think about day in and day out, I think a lot about, I would call it provider-focused innovation. And so what are the areas that need improvement when we think about providers who are essentially bringing care to patients? So that could be on the clinical side, that could be on the research side, that could be on the workflow side of things. How can we take our healthcare system and kind of move it forward with technology?
Awesome. My name is Buck Jordan, CEO of Vibu Labs. We build robots for food, everything from guacamole machines for Chipotle, pizza machines, or boba machines. You know, we believe that the future of food is automated. And you know and we work with some of the biggest brands out there to make that happen, because robotics is an expensive sport, and you got to have a lot of scale at the end of it when you're done developing. And so what I think about most of the time is trying to figure out ways to elevate food quality in a way that a human or a brand just can't do. You know, so can you make something fresher, better, at a higher quality or more highly customized than a human can do in a store. I'd say my model product or idealistic product is that orange juice machine. You guys have probably all seen this orange juice vending machine. It slices the oranges, makes you the freshest possible cup of orange juice in front of you. Well, that's what I want to make my robots be like, because the consumer perception of that machine is that I don't want orange juice out of any other thing other than that, because I see the freshness and I see how good it is. And so I think that that's the challenge of robotics today, and that's and robotic teams who can do that are going to be the ones who are going to win.
Hi everyone, my name is Aditya Grover. I'm an assistant professor at the CS department at UCLA. So I've spent the last decade working at my PhD in the Bay Area on this really boring technology called generative models that suddenly in the last year everything has woken up to, and now it's called Gen AI. So it's been quite a reckoning for my field to see this in the hands of everybody out here as well as in the world broadly. So what I think about now that everybody has played with it, found it useful, is how do we make this technology do some of these tasks that are not just about writing emails or jokes, but augmenting human intelligence and moving science ahead in creating new discoveries all the way from medicine to climate.
And I'm Brian Goldstein. Of course, I've introduced myself earlier in the evening. But in terms of in a generative AI context, what I think about all day is as I'm meeting with boards and I'm meeting with executives and talking through how to apply this technology to business, I spend a lot of time thinking about how we really need to make certain that we're applying it to places that are core to sort of foundational business concepts. Are we, one, doing something that's ultimately going to make an organization money? Are we, two, doing something that may save an organization money? Or three, are we doing something that is going to, in some meaningful way, benefit the humans in our society? And I find frequently that as organizations get larger and larger and they're excited more and more about the hype of what's happening right now in this special moment, is they often will lose sight of the fact that it's really important to remain grounded in those principles. And so this is a big part of what I spend my day thinking about, a big part of what I spend my day talking about.
You have provided me with the perfect segue, Brian. I actually want to start with that hype a little bit, and I want to level set here. Are we in an AI boom? Are we in an AI bubble? Or is it both? Would you like to go first? Because
Sure.
you were looking at me very intently.
Well, it was a very intense question. It's a great question. And candidly, I think it's so early, and I think we lose sight of that. As I said a moment ago, we lose sight because of all of the sort of hyperbole and all of the excitement and all of the fanfare and all of the discussions. We lose sight of the fact that it's early innings. And I was talking about this earlier with some of the founders. There's been just about zero consolidation in this industry. So that's a sign that we're just getting started. Almost nothing's happened yet. And it's funny, when I go to meetings and I say that, people always go, the Google guy just said nothing's happening yet. It's just early, and we've got to remain grounded in that fact. And I think we often have expectation that we're much further along than we are. We're seeing incredible promise and really interesting things. And sure, there's ROI that's surfacing everywhere, but I think the massive sort of opportunity has yet to fully present itself.
Maureen, you were nodding.
Yeah, I was thinking about the question, are we in a bubble or are we in a boom? And I think that from an investor perspective, there is a fear of that bubble. And I think that we're coming out of a few bubbles, like Web3 and crypto. And so there's just kind of that fear as you see those valuations going up in the Gen AI space that makes you want to kind of tread carefully. But the flip of it is, at least from my perspective, which is very healthcare oriented, when you think about the promise in that application, it feels like it could be massive. And it feels like it could be massive across many industries, and then even like within healthcare, if you think about the various applications, just the ability to truly change the way that medicine is practiced, that patients receive care, that we develop drugs. And so it's almost like, yeah, it's probably in a bubble, except for those companies that are gonna win in the space. And then like when you think about the potential value of the companies that were kind of first out of the gate with LLMs, people are talking about trillion-dollar companies. So I guess your entry point valuation doesn't matter so much if that's where you end up.
Does it feel different than Web3, for example?
For me, it does. For me, it does. I think that the consumer perspective, so taking away everything that I do for work, I think just the first moment that you used these LLMs, there was a wow factor for me that I wasn't really able to have maybe with Web3 and crypto because I wasn't out getting the wallet and like I wasn't entrenched. The usability made it available to the layperson, and I sort of think it was probably the #1 wow moment of technology for me ever, where I was, in the kitchen and it's like, it can just write a job description and it's like better than what I would have done. And that was amazing. And so anyways, yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah, you're nodding, Buck.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a boom, and I think that because there's just so many, brand new use cases where people are applying generative AI and starting new companies that are exciting and creating this ROI. Again, yeah, none of it's really hit yet, but I think the potential of it is kind of incredible, and the proliferation of AI to different little verticals is pretty exciting.
What about you, Aditya?
Yeah, so I think if we go a little bit into history, so AI has had bubbles, and this is like, I'm talking about 70s, 80s, but those bubbles existed mostly because there was promise, no delivery. And this time, if you look at this current phase, it was really the opposite. There was a delivery of a product that captured the imaginations of everybody around the globe, and since then, there have been products being built on top of that technology over and over again. So I definitely am a big optimist about it, that we are in a boom, and this is not going to be a bubble for the near future.
Now, kind of to that end, do you remember where you were in the ChatGPT moment, that sort of couple weeks, where everyone started talking about AI? It was a cocktail party topic. My dad was texting me about it in the family group text. Do you remember where you were?
Yeah, my wife was planning our 1-year-old son's birthday party, and she planned the entire. She wrote an animal-themed invite through ChatGPT, and I'm like, how did you come up with this? And that's where I was. I was like, this is incredible. Yeah, weird.
What about you, Aditya?
So I was actually back home in India, and I was visiting my in-laws, and I remember this coming up in what is really like a paparazzi newspaper talking about ChatGPT. And for me, I have been working in AI for the last decade, and nobody in India around me talks about AI. And now you see it in a paparazzi newspaper. So that really struck to me that how much it's been capturing the imagination of everybody out around me, and it's a global phenomena. So, and in that article, they were essentially trying to recreate jokes out of ChatGPT. So it was quite amusing to see the impact it had in such a short time.
Brian?
Yeah, for me, I had the good fortune of sort of sitting on the inside and working really closely with a couple of the really large LLMs that we've all sort of become fond of today. And so I don't feel like, for me, perspective is everything. I don't know that it was a moment per se. I think I kind of slowly walked through it a little bit, and I kind of watched it unfold in front of me in a bit of almost like a slow motion kind of fashion. My day is steeped in this and has been for a long time. In fact, if you go back even just to the founding days of Google, there's plenty of evidence out there on YouTube videos and the like of the founders talking about how search should be an artificial intelligent experience. And so we've always kind of been steeped in this mindset at Google. And so I guess I would characterize it as less of a moment and more of kind of a slow drive through it for me.
Yeah, I do have to follow up on that slightly. A lot of the perception is that Google was caught a little bit off guard by the consumerization. From your perspective, is that true?
Yeah, I don't really agree with that sentiment entirely. No surprise the Google guy says that, but I really don't. And let me tell you why. As I said a moment ago, as early as 2000, you can see evidence of this where Larry and Sergey are talking about how we're going to build a company that's steeped in AI principles. So there's one piece of evidence going back, 20 plus years. On top of that, we've had an enormous number of innovations that have contributed to this so-called moment, not the least of which was the invention of the transformer in 2017, which is kind of a seminal moment on to which so many of these conversations and so much of this technology has been built and is foundational to those things. And so, not entirely, I don't know that I'm entirely aligned there to be saying that we were caught off guard. The last thing I will say, and this is a bit of an existential statement about Google, I think, is we sort of have a responsibility that no other company in the world, in my opinion, has. And what I mean by that is we've kind of historically, for the generation of all of us in the room, largely been the de facto doorway to the internet. And so you don't have children at the dinner table today asking their parents a question about something in history, and then one of the parents says, well, go into your room and pull out your encyclopedia and look it up. That just doesn't happen like it did for me. Instead, either the parent pulls out their phone and Googles it, or more than likely the child pulls out their phone and Googles it. And so we have this incredible existential responsibility to be factual and make sure that we're dependable. And the moment we get that entirely wrong, or we don't make it clear to you that there may be additional data needed, I think we lose an incredible amount of credibility that's probably irrecoverable for us. And so we've been incredibly thoughtful about this. It's been really important to us. And we have a whole bunch of other things riding on it, candidly, which is all of you and sort of the extended globe trusting us to be factual and trusting us to be ready for the moment. And so I think we just tried to be a little bit extra thoughtful, careful, and deliberate about it.
Yeah, but it's also exciting. The thing I say is that it's both this incredibly thorny problem and this totally luminous opportunity. Maureen, for you, do you remember the moment?
Yeah, mine was at home cooking dinner, and I was writing a job description. I don't remember what I was cooking, unfortunately. Probably chicken noodle soup, I don't know. And yeah, I just was like, let's see how good this thing is. And I had written up a job description that day, and then I just asked, ChatGPT to write a job description, and it was like, holy smokes. I think a lot of things are about to move off people's plate. I thought a lot about the automation of tasks in just the day-to-day of what we're doing the first time that I used it.
Well, and kind of to that end, it is consumer-facing. AI now is something that everybody is talking about, and everybody's trying to find ways to use. So I'm going to start with you, Brian, again. How do you know when a product is ready for consumers, an AI product?
Great question. I would characterize there being a strong difference between consumer and enterprise in this capacity. So there are a lot of what I would call thresholds or litmus tests along the way in the development process that we check and do checks and balances to make sure that something is as close to sort of factually dependent as you can make it. We also go out of our way to make sure that we're telling a complete story around where there may be gaps so that you're aware of what it is that you're utilizing. In some cases, we call it a test. In some cases, we call it something that you may just go out and sort of treat as a novelty until it's fully baked and ready. And so we go through a whole bunch of internal sort of checks and balances. And then for an enterprise product, there's a whole host of other dimensions that need to be considered, because you're talking about the security, the scalability, the dependability, the sort of data governance and rigor that's required in order to make sure that companies don't get themselves into trouble and executives don't go to jail. And so there's a whole other level of scrutiny that comes along with that side of the portfolio.
What are the biggest problems you see when companies are out there and they launch too early with a powerful platform like this?
We've seen a lot of this in the media. We've seen banks get themselves into trouble because different constituents inside the banks could see information that they weren't supposed to see. There's been a lot of this, and I think what we've observed is that really quickly people kind of pulled back a bit. Particularly in regulated industry, people pulled back really fast and said, we better hold off and sort of crawl, walk, run. But yeah, mostly it's about data governance in my experience that really gets people into trouble.
What about from your end, Buck?
I mostly build robotics in the back of kitchens, so I have to make sure my robots don't kill anybody or.
That sounds pretty high stakes.
Good thing, yeah. It doesn't drop any oil in the food. We haven't had those sorts of issues yet. We're really focused on food safety and making sure things are more efficient than a human can do it, and really trying to lower the cost of our engineering.
Yeah, I think that was also probably a thing that was quite amazing about ChatGPT, that it was tested live for the whole world. And that's something which everybody knows in machine learning or AI is always this challenge that we don't want to talk about, which is how are you testing your products? Are you testing it on data that you collected or data that the world is generating and using alongside your product? And that, I think, is the litmus test for a lot of these consumer businesses that are coming up on top of this Gen AI technology, is when people who you don't know in your near and dear circle start using this technology, they start exposing these use cases which the creators had not anticipated. And if it survives that test, then you can say that there's a future for that kind of technology.
What about for you, Maureen? Because there's not necessarily the luxury of testing in real time in healthcare.
Yeah, I would put us into one of those highly regulated industries that I think right now there's a lot of, it's sort of a mix. There's wait and see in terms of putting things into production, but there's also this feeling that as an organization, Cedars-Sinai wants to be on the cutting edge of medicine, and so we need to kind of know what's going on, participate in what's going on, and lead the charge there. And so that's kind of where we are. I think that there's also a question of where will we partner with folks that have, models that are obviously beyond anything that we're going to build. That's not our core competency. So where are we going to partner, and where are we going to build things internally with some of the kind of clinical and AI competency that we have in-house? And so I think that's kind of how we're thinking about things. I broadly bucket it in non-clinical applications. So how do we make doctors more efficient, for example, when they're checking their inboxes, which is a huge problem. Physician burnout is a huge problem. Labor shortages. How can we use AI to kind of augment the workforce? Then there's clinical applications, and there you really get into the tricky kind of regulatory, trust, safety, ethics, bias. And then there's kind of a life sciences bucket, which is super fascinating around the convergence of life science and data science. And as we can now sort of put things into these computational models, what is possible with this new frontier of AI. And so, kind of different issues for each of those categories.
Yeah, and kind of to that end, this actually sets me up perfectly again, thank you, for a question about jobs and AI's relationship to the workforce. There is a narrative out there that people are afraid that AI is going to take their job. It certainly is true among journalists. We talk about this a lot amongst each other. But kind of from your end, what is the relationship between AI and the workforce? I know you have thoughts on this, Buck.
Yeah, I think I have to answer this question every time I talk to anybody in your field.
Hey, let's do it. I want to hear the whole thing.
Let's do it. I think that today it's really more about worker shortages, and mine happens to be food. There's 3 million people missing from the U.S. restaurant workforce. I don't know how many nurses are missing from the healthcare field, and on and on and on. But the fact is, this isn't just an industry-specific shortage. This is just a global demographic shortage. Some really staggering stats, if you want to think about it, is the ratio of working age adults to retired adults in 2010 was 4.4 to 1. Just 10 years later, 2020, it's 3.3 to 1, right? So we literally lost 25% of our workforce in the United States in the span of 10 years. And by 2060, it's supposed to be 2.2 to 1. And so there's going to be job shortages. And every one of those working age adults needs to be more productive, because we need to generate a higher GDP every single year. At least that's what people tell us. And because we need to start paying for all the diapers we're going to be, adult diapers.
We actually invested in a point-to-point delivery robot in hospital to assist the nurses. So when you were talking about what you're building, there's so many overlaps, I think, in the food industry and in the healthcare industry. But with that company, it isn't really foundationally a generative AI company, but what they're thinking about is how can we apply that to maybe make the robots more conversational. So I'd love to hear with your company and your robots, is generative AI sort of like foundationally part of it, tangentially part of it? How built into the product is that?
So I think that where generative AI gets really interesting is when it comes to personalized service and personalized experiences, because every brand wants to maintain that connection with the customer. They don't mind automating the kitchen, all the back of house stuff, but they want to have the customer service piece. Chipotle is never going to get rid of that person in line, giving you a little bit more, right? Because they like that interaction. And so I think that I was really blown away by, just to give an example of, there's a Michelin star rated restaurant in New York, which is everyone knows, but they have this thing called a Dreamweaver. When you come in, there's someone who has studied you. They know you by name, by face, and they welcome you, and they're like, what are your kids' favorite movies? And they hand paint a Ratatouille as your name card, you know? Anyway, they just create this personalized experience because they know you so well. And so I think it's, you know, how can we bring that personalized experience to Applebee's? And how can we have a much higher level of service and customized ordering and customized food and menu creation for consumers? I think that's really fun and interesting when it comes to generative AI and in restaurants.
And I think it's also being reflected in a lot of the messaging of AI now being a co-pilot as opposed to it being an autonomous technology. And I think while some jobs will indeed be affected, so we should not be delusional about that, but a lot of these jobs will become more enriching because of AI augmenting humans who are doing those jobs and are the front face of those jobs.
You know, speaking of, sorry, Brian, speaking of co-piloting, you know, I mean, as a CEO, it's really important to be able to have like your entire team marching in the same direction, but you can't be in every meeting, you can't watch every person. And, you know, we use this note-taking app called Fireflies, which takes all the notes, all the action items, tells you who was angry, who talked more, all this sort of stuff. But like, I would love to have a co-pilot that makes sure that people are making decisions that are in congruence with the CEO or the company's mission, and to be able to kind of like help the CEO identify problems in the company. And so that's just if someone can build that, please, I'll be your pilot customer.
You nodded, Brian, at the point where we're talking about AI as sort of a co-pilot.
I was actually nodding when Aditya was speaking because while I also think we need to take seriously the possibility that in many cases jobs can either be transferred, adjusted, or potentially replaced over time, I also think there's a huge opportunity for what I like to think of as a joy quotient increase. Like, there are a lot of folks who either went to school for a particular discipline, let's say, and then went out into the workforce and have found themselves over the course of the arc of history getting further and further away from the thing that they're super passionate about because they're burdened by the overhead of just trying to operationalize whatever's in front of them. And so I think generative AI affords us, at least on the positive spin side, an opportunity to take over some of those things and allow you to get re-released sort of back towards your passion, and that gets me pretty excited.
Yeah, it did actually make me think, are there generative AI applications for startup founders? I don't know, but it's worth considering. If anyone out there wants to do a startup for startups, kind of to that end, so it sounds like the jobs question is fundamentally a balancing act, a sort of co-pilot endeavor where certain things are going to change and other things will actually be better, some things will be different. Where do you factor safety into this? How do you think about safe AI, especially in the context of really high stakes industries? For example, for you, Maureen, healthcare is the most high stakes thing in anybody's life.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have this solved. I guess what we would say is when a patient comes to Cedars-Sinai, they have certain expectations of the care that they're going to get. And we talk about practicing evidence-based medicine. And so there is a big question right now around AI, whether it's generative or not, and sort of understanding how the model works. And there is a certain level where we just don't understand how these models work. And so how do we deal with that in healthcare? I mean, I guess kind of the pushback would be we don't understand the reasoning that every physician is using when they're practicing medicine. And so maybe you should just look at the outcomes. And if the outcomes are improved, it should be something that you're comfortable using. But we think really deeply around if a patient is coming to Cedars-Sinai and they are getting care, can we kind of stand up and say, like, yes, this meets our standard? And so I think you can kind of argue that any which way. Generally speaking, I just think there's more data out there than any human mind can kind of tackle. And so AI will make us better in the practice of medicine is sort of my fundamental belief, but we're gonna have to suss that out over time.
I also feel that as consumers being in these kinds of safety critical situations, healthcare being a good example, are also confronting some of these dilemmas. So I do this pop quiz in my machine learning class that I teach at UCLA, where I ask people that, would you prefer an AI system that's more accurate at telling whether there's a cancer or not, or whether it's more interpretable in explaining its decisions? And there's quite a bit of a split. And that split has also been changing over years because now people are ready to believe that these mammoth AI models that we have are getting really good at being accurate, but also being very hard to interpret. And of course, these people I'm talking to, they are not in those situations themselves, so they're trying to imagine a third-person perspective. But I think that shift is also going to happen within individuals as well, as we, as consumers, become more aware of what AI is, what it does, and what it does not do, which in this case is providing trust and interpretability for its decisions.
You were nodding vigorously again, Brian.
I really liked what he was saying.
It was good, right? I thought it was pretty good.
It's a great panel member.
Yeah, right. But this point about it being fundamentally something that is going to sort of, over time as consumers become aware, that's also going to change how we engage with it. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely going to change. I think it's going to evolve at a really, I mean, it's been a rapid clip, but I think that's going to continue at a really rapid clip. I think there's a couple of things maybe to call out there. The first thing is just this notion of multimodal. So to date, most of our experiences with generative AI have largely been text engagement. And what we're starting to see now is kind of the development of, text, video, audio, and all of these components are able to sort of interact with one another and transfer or translate from one mode to the other. The other thing that we're starting to see happen at a really rapid pace is this notion of conversational AI, where basically every sort of AI system or every system in general that you've become accustomed to engaging with, we believe is going to become conversational in nature. And I don't just mean conversational like you're talking to a computer. I mean conversational in a very natural language sort of way with an incredible amount of nuance and interpretability so that it becomes very personal and it feels like you're engaging with another human being. The last thing I think that's going to happen at a really rapid clip, and I'm already starting to see this in certain areas. I think a lot of it's just about the consumer not yet being so aware that it's out there, is that we're going to start seeing very distinct and discrete components of a process get very quickly strung together in a way that makes it a continuous loop and completely seamless. So, as an example, if at the end of the evening I want to take a train to San Diego, let's say, and I go talk to Google and I ask it about a train to San Diego, imagine an experience where not only does it sort of surface up different train options and different car classes based on its knowledge of me as an individual spender, but then it books the train, it charges my credit card, it puts it on my calendar, it reminds me, it gives me directions as to where the station is, it knows when I get off the train, it tells me. You can imagine this, or the more classic example that you hear all the time, which is becoming more prescient, is this notion of a recipe. Like, I'm going to have some guests over this weekend, give me some ideas on what to cook. It should be vegetarian. I end up doing paella, but I've got 10 people coming, and the recipe calls for 8, and it automatically converts it, and then it does the shopping for you, delivers it to your door, backward engineers when you need to turn the oven on, and gives you all the... So you follow where I'm going.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of there. We're kind of there. It's just you need the discoverability of it. You need to know that it's out there. You need to know sort of where to look for it to put it all together. But soon enough, just about any process that you can think of in the consumer realm is going to look like that. And we're not far away.
And kind of to that end, Buck, as this sort of surface area of engaging with AI increases, do robots fit into that category? Do robotics fit in?
I mean,
it's okay if the answer is no.
I think it's questionable whether AI is robotics. I think in some applications it certainly is. We're definitely doing a lot of, food's a product that changes form as you cook it, color and consistency, and being able to kind of produce the right food at the right time is one of the challenges. We're working with a project right now to determine when a store should fire different parts of the meal based on where the customer is and all the traffic in between here and that customer, and trying to, if they're 5 minutes away, fire the burger, 3 minutes away, fire the fries, 1 minute, make the milkshake, kind of thing for highest quality freshness. Now, I don't know if that's really AI exactly.
But it sounds great.
It sounds good, right? But I think that AI is coming for the white collar jobs and automation robotics coming for the blue collar jobs.
Yeah, this is something you said in the prep call. What do you mean by that?
I think that AI is going to have the biggest impact on knowledge workers. It's going to make large decisions that And I think automation is really going to be taking away jobs like construction jobs, like cooking jobs, like, kind of more low-skilled jobs. But really, I think automation and robotics is the way that AI will affect the real world.
Now, kind of more on that sort of real-world effect. Near-term-ish, however you define that. We can discuss what it means for anything to be near or long-term in the aftermath of the pandemic, because I used to have people ask people questions, where do you see this in 5 years? And now it feels a little silly to ask almost. But, sort of near-term, whatever that means to you, what's your sense of what the biggest opportunities in AI are and the biggest challenges? I know, I'm sorry. Who wants to go first?
I mean, I'll kick it to Maureen.
You're ready, Buck.
I think the biggest
I was like,
opportunities.
oh, thank God he's taking this. Let's see.
Go for it.
I guess I'll say near term. Where do I think the near term impact is in healthcare? I think the very near term is that doctors are overburdened with documentation. It's just a huge burnout factor. They spend more time documenting than they do with patients. And to Brian's point, it's taking the joy out of their job because the thing that they loved was practicing medicine. And so I think it's really a perfect use case to say, let's look at physician inbox, the messages that they're getting from patients, all of the data that we have on that patient, on that physician and the way that they practice, and kind of automate some of that back and forth. So I think that is the near term. I think in the long term, I would look over at the life sciences and now what we're seeing with the ability to simulate drug interactions in patients and potentially not have animal or inhuman clinical trials any longer. I think that just really interesting discussions around if you take patient data and maybe you don't have the right subset of patients, it's kind of biased to one group or another. Let's say it's not the right mix of male and female. Can you take that data, synthesize it, readjust that data so that it's 50-50, and then plug that into models that are trained sort of on the medical literature? And it's just really, to me, that's where it gets into this realm of almost like, it really does feel like a technological revolution in terms of what's possible there. So I think that's a little bit farther out because they're very hard problems to solve, but now that foundation has been laid.
Now, kind of in terms of the challenges, I have to wonder, are a lot of the challenges for AI in healthcare the same as a lot of the challenges in healthcare in general? For instance, data is that look, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess you have to start with usable data. And the industry's been talking about interoperability for 20 years because the different stakeholders have their reasons for kind of holding the data, whether that's bad incentives or whether it's very difficult to get these massive amounts of data to work together. And so I think before you can even get to the point that an LLM can come into play, you need to have that data infrastructure there. So it feels like all of these things are happening at once. Is that a 5-year thing, a 10-year thing, a 15-year thing? I think we're going to find out.
Yeah, I think it's in your industry is where the most impact's going to be in the near term. It's in diagnosis, it's in replacing the doctor, it's in like personalized care. But I would say that my biggest pain point is more in the mechanical engineering of it all. This is a personal thing, but the mechanical engineering of machines and robotics. I want to build a generative AI for that. So for instance, right now, we have a product that cuts, cores, and peels avocados for Chipotle. Second largest buyer of avocado in the world, by the way. It's incredible how much avocado they go through. It's like nuts. So much that they need to design a complex robot to do it, and that makes an ROI for them. Anyway,
it's a guacamole robot?
It's a guacamole robot. Yeah, you should stop by sometime.
I need to change industries. I need to be in the guac robot industry.
But we've got to spend millions of dollars and thousands of like highly qualified engineering time trying to figure out the right form factor of this machine and the right specs and all the motors, which we don't do properly, and the right materials for all the different pieces, and how do you optimize for the lowest cost or the highest throughput. I really want to have I would love to have a ChatGPT for mechanical engineering because I think the amount we spend designing these machines is just massively expensive, and there's got to be a better way to do it.
Well, the thing that makes me think is, if you had a ChatGPT, a chatbot of some kind, a BARD, for mechanical engineering, would that actually make a lot of jobs surrounding robotics more efficient?
It would, and it would also open up robotics and automation to different, to a lot of different industries where it doesn't make sense today. I mean, right now, food it's a low margin industry, and so we have to be very careful about our engineering spend. This is why I'm thinking about it. We have to be very careful about the amount of money we spend designing this guacamole maker, which is awesome. but I mean,
Can I get a picture of it?
if I could do it in half the time, I could charge less. And so all of a sudden, the equation of human labor versus automation labor, the break-even point gets lower. And so that means more robots and more industries, and so that's the output of what I want to do.
Are there any specific challenges in the relationship between AI and robotics?
Not sure.
It's okay if the answer is, I don't know.
I don't know.
I
It's a
say that
brave
all
new
the
world.
time. I say that all the time.
I mean, I just hope the AI is not. I make sure all my robots are programmed not to harm their shareholders. So if anybody is looking to invest,
That's definitely a positive. Aditya, what about you?
I almost want to plus one what Maureen and Buck said. So, but I'll just probably give a different perspective to their points. So in the near term, I think every website that you've used that in the past year, we'll imagine a generative AI augmentation of it. And that would come in all the ways we're already seeing and some more non-traditional ways. Customer care will be, perhaps a lot of it will go to generative AI, and a lot of feedback and interactions with these websites, how we search things, that's all going to go to generative AI soon. Longer term, any of the services that we use in the physical world but not in the digital world, those are the big opportunities. And that's going to Buck's point about robotics. So if you want to move from one location to another, those are really hard challenges for which it's not quite clear if the current technology cuts it through. Surgery is another one where we could expect that it will take a few years before we start seeing AI making advances in those kinds of disciplines. In terms of challenges, I think the biggest challenge for AI right now is policy. And I don't say it in a negative way about policy being bad. Policy is good because it makes sure AI is not killing people in the hospital. So a lot of these policies and regulations can be good. And making sure that this new generation of AI is consistent with the policies and values that we have had over centuries is going to be a big challenge, because even technologically, some of these questions are really hard. So today we have artists and entertainment industry in LA questioning the use of generative AI. And it's, with all due respect, it's actually quite hard to attribute what generative AI is building on. So these are very core challenges for which we don't even have technological solutions, even if we have the policy will to enact those.
The other thing, too, I wanted to ask you, I know you've done a lot of work at the intersection of AI and climate data. I've heard that AI could actually solve a lot of problems we have with climate data. Is what I'm hearing correct?
Yes, so I think we all are so used to using some kind of weather app, and behind the scenes, there is a big breakthrough movement happening for the weatherman, which is that this technology is now being replaced by totally AI-based models, none of the physical equations. And that change, for us, maybe it's not living in LA enjoying the sunny weather, it's not probably big of a change, but for a lot of places which are suffering from extreme weather events, getting that extra day of notice that a flood or a hurricane is going to strike them can be quite a big revolution for how we handle disaster response. So AI is going to make inroads into these kinds of places, and I'm quite excited to see that.
Brian, I'm getting the signal that it's time for the winners to be announced, so you get to bring us home.
Amazing.
Biggest challenges, biggest opportunities, what are you excited about?
Yeah, I agree with the things that all the other panelists said. I guess maybe to give it a little bit of a different flavor, I'll speak in terms of kind of like the B2B enterprise lens where I spend a lot of my time. And right now, the predominant place that we're seeing AI is largely to just take an existing business process that already exists inside of an organization and infuse it with some generative AI principles and technology and perhaps make it better, make it more efficient, throw off more data, whatever it might be. But in that same context, I think the real opportunity, the one that's coming, is when we can go into those types of organizations and come up with a consistent and repeatable way to impact their customer. So how do you go impact the enterprise's end customer in a repeatable fashion? That's where a massive TAM exists and a massive opportunity. In terms of challenges, there's a whole host of them, and I think many of them have come up already tonight. One of the ones that really is sort of part and parcel to many of the conversations that I have is that despite all the conversation about it, there aren't a ton of people who actually are educated in how to go sort of implement these programs yet. And so a lot of it's about change management, understanding how to set up a structure inside of an organization so that you can maximize the potential of one of these projects. And there are just not a huge number of humans out there that have been through that loop enough times to be credible. And so a lack of experience is frankly showing up in a lot of places.
So as we gain experience, then it's going to get better.
There you
We're going
go.
to get better at it. Thank you all so much for your time. We hope we've entertained you, and we really appreciate you. Oh, I do have the clicker. It is in. Haha.
Thank you. All right, thanks everyone. That was fun. Somebody's got to tell me the winner. All right. I can see it. Okay. Don't turn it. Are we ready? I'm ready. All right. I'm thrilled to announce the first ever Google Audience Award tonight to Symphony Biosciences. And now I want to introduce the director of the Venture Accelerator at UCLA Anderson, Trish Halamandaris.
Good job, thank you. So the Venture Accelerator is adding a $2,500 stipend to the Google Audience Award and what they do, and it was generously provided by an engaged alum who I believe is on live stream, Bill Grabe, who has partially funded the production of this evening, including the stipend to Symphony Biosciences. So thank you, Bill Grabe. Who are you? Congratulations. Stay on stage up here. Stay on stage. Oh, photo. You're on one side. Thank you. And now the Drapers are going to bring some heat. They're going to bring some cash. Do your thing. Come on up.
Hi. Oh, Jesse, you want to be same positions that we were in?
It has to be exactly the same
Has to be the same. Has to be the same. Okay.
First off, I don't think we were clear about why we were here at the beginning of this. So we were lucky enough to partner with UCLA on this, and what we decided was we were going to invest $100,000 across 3 winners in this competition.
There's one piece of fine print, because these were quick pitches. A lot of them we didn't get valuations. We didn't get there are a few other basic pieces of information that we need. But assuming those things go through and assuming we come to a mutual agreement, I think.
Pending diligence.
Pending diligence. We wrote it on the big checks. But we're fiduciaries. We're responsible.
But okay, I would also like to say, this was really hard. We actually came here and we were thinking, okay, this is just going to be easy. We went into that room and we were like, I would give money to every single one of these companies. So we hope that you all follow up with us. I know that the team at UCLA can put you in touch, but truly these were incredible pitches. And if you don't win tonight,
everyone is a winner on the inside.
Yeah, but also like email me before them. Adam at boost.vc.
Ladies first though, right?
Yeah, give your email address.
Yeah, Jesse at halogenvc.com.
And Billy at path.vc.
But I'm sure you guys can get it. We really put it out there. We're very accessible online.
We put it out there at live events. We don't put it out there on the internet.
Okay, but this isn't about us. We need to announce the winners. They're dying to know.
I was just wondering if we could talk for another 10
Oh, and
minutes.
this is Phoenix, my son, and my other son, Strider. And they're going to be giving out the prizes today.
Yeah, these were really great companies all around. How did you order these?
I don't know. I hope we don't show the wrong one at the wrong time.
It's okay if we do.
Oh, no, this is the first one right here. This is the first one. Okay. Do you want to announce the first one?
No, go for it.
The winner of a $50,000 check.
$50,000!
Crazy!
Pending diligence.
For the UCLA 2023 Innovation Showcase is BridgeDoc. Woo!
Yeah!
When they come up here, you need to give this to them.
Governments be damned, we're gonna make infrastructure work.
Congratulations! Come up, take your giant check. Congratulations!
Yeah.
Congratulations. I guess you want to walk. Oh yeah, we'll stay up here. Okay, I feel like you should be in front, right? That's somewhere. Okay.
Second place.
Let me find second place.
Second place is
okay.
not that one. It's the
Not
other
that one. Okay, it's this one. Okay.
So we started with first place.
I know, that was interesting.
That was an interesting play.
That's different from reality
very,
TV, yeah.
Oh, I messed that up.
Very first kid choice.
Yeah, people can,
Well, it's still exciting, guys.
No, I mean, even more so.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I was just trying to stay in theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should have done first before the conference started.
Okay, you guys want to announce the
turn
next one?
You
should
go.
announce the next one.
Billy just do it.
Yeah.
All right, second place with a $30,000 investment.
Drum roll.
Active membrane.
Active membranes! Okay, so you turn it around.
Let's fix the water.
Did you just say? Woo! Congratulations. So you give him the check?
Desalinization. Hey.
Congrats. Very big problem you're solving. I hope you solve it.
We need water.
You want to do third?
Sure. And in third place, but everyone's solving very hard problems, so it's just like
we were very impressed by the size of problem being solved.
Yes, very huge problem being solved is for $20,000. SparkJen
SparkJen Biotech.
And the UCLA Innovation Showcase winner! Give a round of applause!
Round of applause.
Round of applause for all of the participants today. Thank you, UCLA. Thank you, Trish. Thanks to the dean. And thank you to Google.
Yeah, thanks, Trish. And thank Jesse. Jesse did a lot of things.
Yeah,
Did nothing.
Jesse.
Trish
My
did it
brother
all.
and I just sort of showed
That was
up.
really nice.
That is accurate.
You should take the mics away from us like that.
Oh, let's be in the picture. Let's be in the picture.
Oh yeah, let's get in there.
Yeah, let's do it.
What do you want us to do, Trish?
We're doing team photos.
Oh, we're taking a photo. Okay, we're gonna take a photo.
Yeah, maybe.
Thank you. That was amazing. That was amazing. Just an incredible showcase.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have all the info. Thank you, guys. That was awesome.
Thank you so much.
So thank you guys for tonight, live stream, watching, in attendance. Want to thank our host, Google. And if you guys haven't met Michelle Gross, who does not want to be on stage, I don't know why, the best business partner from Google anybody can have. So Michelle, in the back of the room, raise your hand. Amazing. It made this super easy. And the Drapers held their word. They brought the heat. They brought the energy. Thank you very much. And for the informative panel on artificial intelligence, thank you guys very much. Totally appreciate the insights. This evening reminds me of a phrase that Billie Jean King says, which is pressure is a privilege. And if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with the game of tennis. And I often liken it, life, to tennis. And in order to help the founders for tonight, we put them through a pitch prep program at the Anderson Venture Accelerator to get them ready for the pressures of what they were going to go through tonight. And it was really fun. We had a great time because we saw fast impact of the advice of all the mentors that are here tonight and the program and what it contributes. And also, if you know me, you know that our team and the founders, we go through a ton of pressure. And we put it on ourselves to make sure that we can bring excellent results and excellent results for the future of what these technologies and products are going to help the next generation. And we often say that we want to put enough pressure to make diamonds. And that's our goal in our program. But I really do want to thank the team. I've gotten the name because of the position. But if you come to the accelerator and you work with us, and you have the honor of working with the team, 4 women, just saying, it's amazing. The A team is Beatina Teopold, Claire Marsden, and Fallon Coleman. These guys do this. They bring it to life, and we definitely want to thank them because this is really the spirit behind it. And now for the best part is that we want to put pressure on you. We know, and we hope that you saw tonight, that we can do more across the UCLA campus. Our UCLA partners who are here tonight, so thank you. They brought their companies to play. But we know at Anderson we can do more to help commercialize the IP across the UCLA campus. So with the donation that is in the back of the brochure, we can certainly support more founders than what we're doing right now with the 4 of us. And you know, we're going into the gift-giving season. I know that some of you need a tax deduction. We would totally appreciate any contribution. It does help us, and it does help us expand the program, which is what we're trying to do collectively as the UCLA campus and working with all of our partners from across the campus. And with that, now is the time we can eat, drink, see the company demos. So if we go outside, you're going to go right and make a left. Food is on the left. Open bar. All the founders are going to be demoing all of their products, including the consumer product showcase that we have from UCLA Anderson founders. And we really, really thank you guys for being here tonight, having fun with us. Let's change the world. Thank you.